At last, a satisfying fire in the big hole. The hole is 23 feet deep, and the pile is, of course, 23 plus another 10. That's getting good. So this project over here, as you could call it, is to open up the cliff face. Cliff. We do have a cliff down by the river, big one, 100 and something, probably 110 feet, something like that. I think the sound of a deep fire is impressive. But that'll burn down in no time. An hour from now, it'll be a hole in the ground with some flames. But when we first moved in, there was this hollow with trees, big trees. Hollow had been here for a very long time. Big mature trees. And I came down one day in the pouring rain because I could not understand why no water ever sat in such a hollow. Also, it's bizarre, and you would see that if you watched the potential cave videos that I stuck online about a year ago, is that the hillside is above my head, behind me, and almost in ice shot in front of me. And there's this big hollow for absolutely no purpose. What that implies is a whole bunch of water has flowed, a whole bunch of dirt somewhere, downwards of course. There's a natural dam across in the front there, and the hill continues at the exact same gradient the other side. So I was convinced for the longest time that there was at least a fissure of significant size. So I dug down and I found nothing. But I'm going to clean that dirt back away from the cliff and have this little cliff here as a feature, and throw a rappelling rope off the tree there and teach the grandchildren how to rappel. And yeah, it's not the safest of cliffs to do that on, but there's a good ledge halfway down, so they only have to do 15 feet followed by 10 feet. And that would be pretty good. So we've been clearing trees to open up the view from the house that's on top of the hill behind me. And I'm going to clean off the debris off that limestone. I'm hoping to be able to clean it off effectively, or maybe just let the years do that for me if we could ever get good rain. Got quite the stack of poplar logs for the barn timbers. I need a lot of 4x12s. So there's a nice stack there. Probably get 20 or so out of that stack. I have 2 more stacks up by the sawmill. That's firewood. Too wobbly and too thin for anything else. This is the road that snakes down to the log house. And this looks a bit like a war site. Battlefield to me. It's full of whippy, scrubby little trees and then poplars. So I'll be taking a few more of the tall ones down, but I'm going to grind back all of the stumps just to give myself a sense of neat and tidy at some point. So this hollow that I talk a lot about is more impressive when you stand here. You can see the shape of the natural hill disappearing off down there. It's all water eroded, and then from my feet just is this great big hole. And yes, you can see the hole I've dug, but way before I dug it, and nobody else had dug it, there's a great big natural depression. So my assumption is all the muck and material and water flows down virtually under my feet somewhere, because that slope is in this direction, and then you've got a very steep mark here. So I'm not done yet. I'm digging. I'm still digging. I'm still waiting to find the opening that has taken hundreds and hundreds of yards of material. In fact, thousands of yards of material over a long time. Fire is going well. I'm going to go back up to the house and get on with some stuff. But this is a rainy day. It's a couple of days after Thanksgiving. So today is rest after the big tidy up that we've already done. Get the excavator oil changed, get the hydraulic fluid topped up, get the final drive oils changed, bring it down here, fill that bonfire, and then do some stump grinding. If you count the small ones, that is 14 stumps. In all honesty, it's 4 little babies. And out of the 8, 5 or 6 were really big. The other 2 were medium-sized. So with what the tree guys charge for stump grinding, that is about $3,000 worth of stump grinding. Because on average, a stump would be $200. The big ones would be $350. So it's about, $2,500 to $3,000 worth of stump grinding. I started at 12. It's $230. So more than $1,000 an hour. That's good work if you can get it, or if you buy yourself a stump grinder. Then it's paid for itself in 2 days of work. And I've owned it for 5 years. It's done probably 20 times what I've done today, maybe 30 times what I've done today. So $60,000 worth of work for a attachment that cost me $5,000. Not bad. I'm going to go grab the Mini, knock these piles level. And for a woodland floor, this is pretty good. No need for raking. I'll just let the leaves cover everything up. I'll put the bonfire together one more time, make that neat and tidy for the day. Well, that's all that's left of that huge pile. I'd say I've taken down 20 large poplars, plus, of course, at least 20 more other types and sizes. But to think that within 5 hours it's all just disappeared effectively. It's a shame to think of all that energy going to waste. Massive amount of heat for 5 hours, just being exhausted into the atmosphere. It's a waste from that perspective, but there's no way you can burn brush in something that you can take heat from. Not on a residential scale anyway. But I'll let that burn down, and I'll pick through the ashes and grab the big lumps tomorrow, and that'll rekindle a small fire with just the lumps. Right now that hole is too hot for the arm of the excavator to spend more than a few seconds in, so I'm not reaching in there anymore to move anything around. I'm just going to let it die out. So time to put the equipment away, call it a day.